What is up, guys? It is Marcus the YGOPro here, coming at you with just a sort of casual deck profile. It's not really anything like meta defining, but it's just something you can take to locals, have fun with, mess around, steal a couple wins, have your opponents looking at you like, you play this and you beat me? Okay, chief, you got it. I know we put up a Galaxy deck profile earlier, a lot earlier as a matter of fact, and it wasn't the best, so I was like, I'll do my own take on it. So without further ado, just get right into it. Starting off with 3 copies of the Boy Galaxy as Photon Dragon. This card, it just does so much. It's got its own summon condition, which is kind of alright. You can summon it by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 more attack, basically tribute summoning with extra steps. During the battle step, if this card battles a monster, you can banish it from your main monster zone and the monster that your opponent is battling, and they come back during the end of the battle phase. And then if you banish any seized monster by that effect, it gains 500 attack for each material that it had on it. This card is just like the backbone of the deck. If you play Desires and you lose these, you're screwed. I don't play Desires because that main fact. 3 Galaxy Soldier. Not only does it search itself in this deck, but it also searches out other Galaxy cards like Knight, Wizard, the Boy. It's just a really good extension card. It also helps you make Pleiades, Cyber Dragon Nova Infinity, whatever other things you might have in store. 3 copies of Photon Orbital. 2019 hashtag best support card for Rogue decks. This card actually is really busted for this deck. Basically, you can attach it from your hand or field to a Photon Galaxy monster you control. It gains 500 attack and makes that monster it's equipped to unable to die by battle. While it's equipped, you can send it from your face upside the field to the graveyard to search for a Photon Galaxy monster. Funny story, round 1, I went up against a Sky Striker player, and I had this attached to the rank 4 Photon Galaxies, and he could not break my board because he couldn't target or destroy anything on my board with card effects because it had Orbital attached to it. Oh my god. 2 copies of Galaxy Knight. If you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, you can normal summon without attributing. When it's normal, you can target a Galaxy Photon Dragon in your grave, special summon it if there are any targets there, and he loses 1,000 attack in the end phase. That doesn't matter. You just use him for an easy rank 8. Or an easy rank 8 that's practically one of your only 2 normal summons in this deck. And it's for free. It's just free. 2 copies of Photon Advancer. This is actually a really easy way to just get your rank 4s out or your extra Link fun plays. You can summon him from your hand if you control a Photon monster, and he gains 1,000 attack if there's a Photon monster on the field. So if you drop both of them, you can just normal, special, Link, rank 4, shenanigans. Easy, simple. 2 copies of Photon Vanisher. I was originally playing 3, but he's sort of a dead draw if you drop multiples because he is a once per turn summon. You can only summon him from your hand while you control a Photon Galaxy monster, and when he's special summoned, you can search for a Galaxy as Photon Dragon. He also has the effect of, if you exceed summon with him, the monster that you summon gains the effect of banishing anything it yeets by battle. It's just another 2,000 body that is so easy to summon, but it's just the same that's once per turn. They're all once per turns, but this is a hard once per turn. It sucks. 1-ofs Thrasher, Wizard, and Brave. I don't know why. Every time you just play 1 Thrasher, you always see it in your opening hand in this deck. You don't even have to search it because they're all warriors, level 4s, except for Wizard. We don't know what Thrasher does. Wizard, he can make himself level 8 on the field, and he also tribute himself to search for a Galaxy card. So you also have spell cards in this deck that you can search too. I only play 3 copies of them because the other ones are just bad. But he's just a good normal summonable level 8. Brave reveals a Photon monster in your hand, so either Vanisher or Advancer, to make himself the monster you revealed. And then if he's normal special, he can target a Galaxy or Photon monster's attack in the graveyard, and his stats become those stats. He's also a good extender if you want to make a rank 8. The only thing you can't do with him is make him a level 5 by revealing Soldier because he has to reveal a Photon monster, which kind of sucks. That's why I only play 1. Last 2 monsters I play are 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I lose a die roll a lot, so I just like saying, no, you can't play. It's fun seeing them just like, wow, why do you hate me? For the 1-of spells, Reborn, Rhoda, A lot of these starter cards in this deck are warriors, and then being able to reborn someone's level 8 or someone's level 4 or your stuff, it's just really necessary in this deck. 3 copies of Galaxy Expedition. There are 3 different ways you can actually use this card. If you control Soldier or any level 5 or higher Photon Galaxy monster, as a matter of fact, you can summon level 5 or higher Photon Galaxy monster from your deck. So you can, if you don't open Soldier, you can summon Soldier with this and get its effect, because Soldier's effect is on special summon regardless of where it came from. Or you can summon Galaxy Eyes or Brave or Knight or whatever you feel like summoning. 3 copies of the best starter card in this deck, Photon Sanctuary. This is a 1-card Soul Flare. Soul Flare is just the best link for this deck that could have been possibly made. The only thing that sort of makes this card a little bit worse is that you can't summon anything but light monsters turn you activate it. So, in case you wanted to like do this and go into Boral Load, you can't. Cry. Run my eyes out. 3 copies of Trade-In. They're all level 8 monsters. I don't need to explain this. And then, because I often lose die roll, and there's a lot of Sky Striker and back row decks, we like Cosmic Cyclone, because this deck really doesn't have the discard product for Twin Twister. You can play it if you want to, but your hand empties really fast, and by the time you get to Twin Twisters, you'll be like, oh, I don't have anything I want to discard for this. So just paying the stack for Cosmic is a lot better. We are main decking some trap cards. 3 copies of $30 Effect Veiler, because we don't like you activating effects since we lose the die roll, and then rather than playing the counter trap for Galaxies, I just decided to play this because it's quicker, it's faster. Sure, it deals with 1 monster, but I'd rather deal with 1 monster than have to wait to use something, for example. And then 3 copies of Evenly Matched, because you got too many monsters on the board. We don't like that. I don't need my battle phase to set up, so I can just do evenly, not worry about all the stupid floodgates, and then just go off. Extra deck, it's sort of really constricted, so I couldn't work much with it. 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon, 1 copy of Boral Load. This link is so dumb. When it's link summoned, you can add any Photon Galaxy monster from graveyard to your hand. Then during your opponent's turn, you can destroy 1 special summon monster your opponent controls by discarding 1 Photon and Galaxy card or 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Just the resource maintenance that this card gets you, along with that subtle interruption, it just makes him too good to not be played. But you also don't want to play him too much because this deck has no grind game. You want to be able to hit them hard and fast. And then Borlo, because we like taking your monsters. You got a Colossus on board to stop me from activating half my effects, then you don't want that. You don't need that. We have the Negate Your Cards package, Nova, Infinity, Hope Harbinger, and Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. This card is so dumb. You can add Photon Galaxy cards from your deck to your hand, or attach them to his material during your opponent's turn, and then he can negate and destroy your opponent's monster effects by detaching material. This card being able to search any card in the deck aside from the counter trap, which is why I don't main deck the counter trap, is unfair. You can search Galaxy Soldier if you didn't open it. You can search for Knight on your turn. You can search for Orbital. The possibilities with this card are endless. And the fact that you can set up and have an ending board of the Link 2 Soul Flare, Lord, and Infinity, just why not? Then we have the Interruption, 1 Pleiades, and then the amazing lock that I had to deal with round 1 was Photon Blast Dragon. Pleiades is okay. I didn't really go into Pleiades much, but this I try to go into as much as possible because this card is so easy. It's generic, it's level 4s. When it's Exceed summoned, you can special summon a Photon monster from your hand. While this card is Exceed summoned on the field, your opponent cannot target monsters on your field or destroy them by card effects if they have 2,000 more attack. If you attach Orbital to him, he becomes 23, he's covered by his own effect. It's not fun. Your opponent just has to look at you and be like, why are you doing this? They're all Magic Specters by that point. During your opponent's turn, you can detach material, special summon 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that is in your grave or banished. So, if they call by the grave you just tell them to read the card again, and then you still summon the same target. The only thing that sort of circumvents this is Shark Cannon, the Sky Striker quick play, because then they'll summon it to their field and you just lose your target and you're like, oh, alright, that's fine. We have the Kill Your Cards Really Fast package, number 107 and number 62. To be honest with you, I went into number 62 a lot more, even though it's just a big beater, and this would actually do more, because during the start of the battle phase, you can negate all face-up effects on the field and reduce all moshes back to their original attack and defense. And if they activate a card or effect, he gains 1,000, then can attack again, and he can do that as many times as he has materials. It's okay, but I just feel like it's sort of subpar compared to him, because he can detach material during battle to gain attack equal to every rank on the field times 200. So him in the rank 4, you're already gaining 24, and he's already 4K, so he's hitting you for like 64, while he has the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon under him. And then if they destroy him while he has these materials, he comes back during the second standby phase. Like that didn't come up at all because I killed them before they could do anything. But like this and this together, it's just really, really dumb. Last but not least, we have the Pop Your Cards package. Cypher going into full armor. Full armor pops a face-up card. Go into Cypher. Cypher pops a face-down card. And then if they kill him, you can summon him from the grave and just rinse repeat. Like this package is so underestimated, but it's also so useful at the same time. Going into side deck, it's very simple, very, very easy. You've got 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. Stopping the Thunder Dragon matchup was very crucial. Stopping a lot of like really heavy banishing decks like the Grand Maju weird thing. It was just, this card came up and it was probably one of the most useful things I sided in. 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode, because we don't like big boards. Big boards scare me. If I don't evenly you, I'm gonna do this. 2 copies of Call by the Grave. I did want to main these, but opening these like mid to late game was just so detrimental to this deck's like longevity that I was just like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I've already got a bunch of things I can deal with it. I lose a die roll anyway, so I'm just gonna side these, and then if they make me go first, I just side these in. 3 copies of Red Reboot, because I hate Altergeist and I hate Floodgates. I hate Salamangreat with a burning passion. I had to face a Salamangreat player who sided in 3 copies of really old Floodgate, Grave of Super Ancient Organism, and I looked at him and I'm like, you really play this? And he's like, yeah, give him Red Reboot. And I'm like, yeah, I showed him the 3 Red Reboot, and he's just like, oh, alright, you got it. 3 copies of Tachyon Transmigration and 1 copy of Solemn Judgment. I know Judgment's at 3, I would rather be siding 2 and 2, but this is just a Judgment on crack. If you have a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster, you can negate everything that was activated from your opponent in the entire chain, shuffle the cards that were negated on field back into the deck. But like, oh my god, if I was building on a going first build, I would just be maining these. This card is so dumb, but going second, it's just sort of dead in your hand, because they'll just space this, or your little Scythe clone it, and you're just like, oh, I gotta activate it. Just pay 1,000, alright, negate, go back into your deck. But if you're playing against a really like combo heavy deck, like the Crusadia Thunder Dragons, I actually had to negate and chain 1 Ib, chain 2 Olion. So I just Transmigration, negate both of them, and sent the Ib back to the extra, and the guy was just like, oh, okay, game 3. This card is just so useful, but it's so detrimental to your cause if you're going second at the same time. Like, pretty much going back to my original point, this deck is not a meta-defining deck. This deck is just something you can pick up for like relatively cheap, just have fun with it. The only expensive cards in here are the orbitals. Those are just ridiculously overpriced. But other than that, this deck is just fun. You can take it to a locals, wipe the floor with some people, catch them off guard, and just do a lot. Pretty much, if you have the need to like try out this deck, give it a shot. I know there's other builds like the Mech Knight build. I don't like that. All the other builds aside from Pure are just kind of subpar, because you either have to go like very aggressive second, or you have to go very aggressive first and hope you don't brick. I think this build is the most consistent way to go in terms of like being able to play around a lot of the current meta, like Striker, Altergeist, Subterror, True Draco, all that. But yeah, this has been new and improved Galaxy deck profile. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment so I can know what you thought of my profile. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.